Hello everybody. Okay, so came up today to make some jewelry, but I just got in the mood to get messy first. So I'm going to do an acrylic pour over this ivy ball. It's a round vase with a little fluted lip. Picked this up at the 411 yard sale, I believe. So you guys may have seen it on the haul video. And anyway, I know Halloween is just around the corner. I am still in the mood for fall colors and will be probably all the way up until well after Thanksgiving. So I am going to see what I can do about using some fall colors here. A color I do not see is the brown. So I'll be right back. I want to get the brown. I don't want to make you guys wait for it. So okay, we're back now. I had to mix up some brown and I didn't think that you guys would want to sit through all of that. So let's see what we got here. All right, I have some fall colors set aside. Now these are just basic, either Sargent or Milo acrylic, like student grade paint that you get off of Amazon in the big bottles. There's nothing special on them. Will probably start adding some different colors and different types of paints to my repertoire, but since I just really got into acrylic painting on a frequent level, I didn't want to invest a whole lot of money in the paints to start with. I am just using Elmer's Glue All as my pouring medium along with some water. So that's all there is to that. I think we're gonna do, well, you know what, let's do a dirty pour. I haven't done a dirty pour in a little while. So I'm going to take a cup here, a cup that I have used the heck out of and failed upon many occasions to wash well. Assuming I can get this little cup out of it. There you go. Okay. So I'm just going to layer. I'll just move my little ivy ball out of the way here for a moment. Okay. So I am just going to layer my paints, and let's see. Let's go with the metallic gold in first. Now, I'm going to go against the cup here. Okay. I don't know if you can see this wonderful striations like mica powder in there. Then let's go with the brown. This is just a flat brown, nothing metallic in it. And again, right up against the edge of the cup so it gently goes down and doesn't sink straight into the bottom of the paint. I'll add some orange. A little bit of black. I don't want the black taken over, so we're not going to go much on the black because this is not really a Halloween one, it's more fall. Okay. Some copper because I love metallics. A little bit of yellow. And then I'm just going to go back in with some brown. Some gold. A little bit of orange. And I think just to give it just a tiny bit of contrast here, I've got some of this peacock blue that I mixed up for a pour that I just did with some coasters, and I've got a little bit of that left. So, and I made that just by adding blues and greens and turquoise until I got the color that I wanted. Okay, and maybe a little more yellow. I don't think I put much of the yellow in. All right, let's see what happens here. So I'm gonna leave it, set it aside, let that sit for a few minutes, make sure I don't have anything on my canvas. I thought that was just a little chip of something. Okay, there we go. Now, I am going to pour my paint around and around, and just see what it does here. Try to push some of that off. See where it goes. Now we will see what that ends up with. I've got a canvas underneath to catch the drips so that we can turn around and stretch that out, stretch this pour into a painting. And then if there's any drips off the canvas, which there usually are, we will catch those onto the freezer paper, which we will then use as acrylic skins to make more jewelry. I'm going to let that drip for a minute to see if it covers everything. And with the ivy ball, the fluted edges of that, they're causing really interesting things happening down on the canvas with the way the paint pours off of the jar. I do want to get the lip covered, which I could always, if I had to, go back with a little paint and a paintbrush to fix that up later after it's dry before I seal it, but I like to have a little bit on the lip going all the way around. There we go. Now, let's see if I can get a peek at the other side here, make sure that nothing is missing. Everything seems to be doing quite well. As far as coverage goes, the only thing I'm having to help out is that lip, on those fluted edges, because the paint just doesn't puddle over enough because it pours down in between the fluted little scallops. So it doesn't puddle up over enough to go over the edge. Well, the brown kind of took over. So there's a lot of brown. There's a big space over here that's pretty much all brown. I'm thinking that I'd rather that not be the case. So, get a hand off here. think, yeah, and most of that peacock blue all came completely off the vase and is going to be on the painting. But that's okay. I think I'm going to add, going down the side a little bit, just around the rim. I'm just going to add some color to drip off into that gold. Just going along the rim. Trying to give us a little more. Of course, you know, the thing is it's going to drip and drip and drip and drip and drip, so there's no telling what we're going to end up with at the end. I was worried about the black taking over, but it was definitely the brown. Ironically, the color I had to mix up to get us started. The brown is a very fall color. This is going to drip for a bit, so I'm going to turn off the camera for a moment, let it drip, and then I'll move the vase over to another tray so that we can work on the painting. Okay? Okay, so I have removed the ivy ball. It dripped quite a bit. And you can see these neat little lines that came from, remember the fluted edge at the top of that glass ball? The fluted edge caused the paint to make these really interesting designs, which is why people are pouring through strainers and all kinds of other things to get really interesting. And we'll come back this way some. I'm just going to tilt it, try to get some coverage, see where this goes. And there will be drips that come off the painting. That is absolutely normal. But never fear, we are not going to waste our paint. Any paint that drips off is going to go into our acrylic skin stash to be used on future projects. Just to get this edge covered here, and the paint will cover much better once it has some paint to run onto. Same thing here. I'm just gonna bring a little here so that it's wet, and then that will just cover so much better. Okay. You see what I'm talking about when I say it covers better when it's got paint to run over? There's that little dot on the canvas of just canvas. And see how the paint just keeps running around it? It'll slowly cover it, but it keeps trying to just run around it, making that little pinwheel shape there. Let the paint move. Let it do its job. And it's going to stretch out all these colors just make some of the most interesting designs. The only thing I don't want is white canvas showing through. So again, I'm just kind of using my finger and kind of stretching the colors down. Starting to get a little muddy in some areas. So I don't really want to blend paint. I want the colors to stay separate. I'm just dabbing it here to break that surface tension. Here we go. All right. Now, I think, love that pinwheel effect there. I really like this. Okay, I think I just need to go back down this way some. Got a spot on the canvas here that I had kind of dabbed with my finger, but it hasn't gotten a good coverage of paint on it yet. And I want to send some paint down that way. It'll still move. These little white edges, I'm just tapping them with my finger and making sure there won't be little white edges. Okay. There we go. Now the paint's starting to run off in that corner. And I need it to run just a little bit. I don't know if you can see that spot there. It's got some brown paint on the canvas, but you can still see the canvas through there, and that is the last thing that I want. So I'm going to make sure that I get that covered. There we go. There we go. Okay. I actually think that that has come out pretty good. I love all the shapes. Shapes have come out great. Okay. All right. I really like the way the it's a very dark painting, but it's got those little bits of light in it, little bits of color, and the shimmer. A little bit of mud there. I didn't add where you don't really see much of that peacock, except maybe just little hints of it, but it looks like we created a little bit of mud in some areas, but overall, I like it. I think that's where I'm gonna leave it. So, I'm gonna take it and torch it to try to get rid of any bubbles. Okay, there's no alcohol or silicone in this. So I'm not going to worry. Don't have to worry about that while I'm torching it to get rid of the bubbles. Now there will be more bubbles come to the surface, so I'll want to come back and torch it again. I don't see any little divots, so everything came out nice and smooth. Of course, when I seal it, any little divots are gonna get sealed up too. Let me real quick torch the vase. I didn't do that before I moved it because I wanted it to keep running. Make sure there's no little bubbles going on. Okay, I'm going to bring the camera down so that you can see a little better about what we got. Excuse my messy table. It's all part of creating. Okay. And you see all of the color. Now, if you look down underneath, here you'll see the puddles. That's going to be our acrylic skins that we're going to use to make jewelry. Okay, now come around over here and you can see the vase. All right, let me pull it down so you can see the side. See how that peacock and that copper, the yellows coming down, see the fluted edges, and then of course we're making more skins as this thing runs. It'll stay on the same tray until it dries. I'll let it dry for a couple of days and it'll be dry to the touch, and then I'm going to let it dry for cure for a couple of weeks before I put a sealant on it. I think all in all, I think that came out really nice. So if you haven't already liked and subscribed to this channel, I love it if you'd like this video, subscribe to the channel. Be sure and make a comment, because that will enter you into the drawing to for when we get 25 subscribers. I know, brand new channel. And when we get 25 subscribers, I'll do a drawing, and then we'll do it again at 50, and we'll see how we go from there. So be sure and comment, because the only way that I can put an entry for you in, because while they do give me a list of subscribers, it's only the subscribers who allow their subscriptions to be public. And the default when you sign up for YouTube is for you to be private. So unless you go in and set it for public, I won't be able to see. So I need you to comment so that I can enter you in the drawing. I'm trying to get another angle here. I just really like how that came out. Okay. Go find something creative to do. It is great for the psyche.